みなさん、こんにちは. Welcome back to NihonGoal. 元気ですか? I hope you're doing well. In this lesson, we will learn about the following grammar points. If you notice, some of the grammar patterns may be familiar to you because we've learned about them in previous lessons. So today, we will learn about their other uses or their other meanings. And by the way, before we begin, make sure to check out the vocabulary list for this lesson. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more lessons like this. If you want to support this channel even more, consider becoming my Patreon through my Patreon page, where you can get the lesson PDF, answers to the practice questions, and review flashcards for the vocabulary list. はい、準備できたら始めましょう。Our first grammar point is 何々たら何々た or A たら B. We first learned about the conditional sentence, which is the 何々たら from lesson 25. So this pattern means that when or after A happens, then B will happen. For example, 元気になったらいっぱい飲みましょう. Let's have a drink when you get better. Or when you get better, let's have a drink. Now, in this pattern, we have the 何々たらfollowed by another sentence in its past form. So this indicates that B happened as a result of A. Or this could also mean that B was discovered after A. So let's take a look at this pattern. How to use this pattern? We have the first part or the A part in ta form followed by ra. So we have verb tara, and then the B part or the result is also in ta form. So it could be a verb or an adjective. So it's just A tara, B ta. So what happens after A is B. So this can be compared to the pattern A to B. If you want to review how to form the ta form of the verb, you can check out lesson 19. So this pattern means that B happened after A, or after A, B happened. Okay, so A, then B. This could also mean B is discovered after A. So let's take a look at some examples. My arm hurt after exercising. So what happened first is you exercise. So exercise in Japanese is undo shimasu, right? So after exercising, the result is your arm hurt. So we say undo shitara. So from undo shimasu, we change it to ta form, undo shita. And then we add ra. Undo shitara, ude ga itaku narimashita. So my arm hurt. Ude is arm, and then itaku narimasu is to hurt. So itaku narimashita or itaku natta. Another example. The room became brighter after I changed the wall color. So first, you change the wall color, and after that, the room became brighter. So this is the result. So we have the verb change or kaemasu, and then the result is become brighter. So we say the wall color kabe no iro o kaetara. So change the wall color. Heya ga, the room, akaruku natta, brighter, became brighter. Akaruku narimashita or akaruku natta. Kabe no iro o kaetara, heya ga akaruku natta. Next example. After getting home, I noticed my dog wasn't there. So you get home, kaerimasu, and then the dog wasn't there. So here we are saying that B is discovered after A. So we say, 家に帰ったら after getting home, 犬がいなかった. So the dog wasn't there. いませんでした. Okay? But when you have it in this pattern, it basically means that you notice, you have a discovery. So I noticed my dog wasn't there. 家に帰ったら犬がいなかった. Another example. I don't really like matcha flavor, but after trying this cake, I found it to be delicious. So first you try this cake or you try eating it, and then you discovered that you actually like the cake or you actually like this flavor. So we say, 抹茶の味があまり好きじゃないけど, so I don't really like matcha flavor, but この抹茶ケーキを食べてみたら, so 食べます plus みます is 食べてみます meaning to try eating something. So 食べてみたら, after trying this cake, 美味しかった. Delicious. It was delicious. So basically, after eating this cake, I found it to be delicious. It was delicious. この抹茶ケーキを食べてみたら美味しかった. Okay, so let's try. Using the pattern verb tara, verb or adjective in past tense, let's try the following. I have here an example. ご飯を食べる, to eat rice or to eat a meal. 眠くなる, to become sleepy. So by using this pattern, we can say ご飯を食べたら, again in ta form followed by ra, and then 眠くなった, became sleepy. ご飯を食べたら眠くなった. Okay, so try number 1. 久しぶりに走る, to run again after a long time. とても疲れる, to become very tired. And number 2, 財布の中を見る. When I look inside my wallet, お金がない. There's no money. The money isn't there. So combine these two sentences by using this pattern. Okay, if you want to check your answer, it's in the lesson PDF available on my Patreon page. Okay, so once you're done, let's move on to the next pattern. Our second grammar pattern is 何々というのは何々のことだ or 何々というのは何々ということだ. So this is just an expression to explain the meaning of a noun. So if you remember, this might sound familiar because we learned about this in the previous lesson, lesson 1. Noun 1 to you, noun 2, which means noun 2 named or called noun 1. For example, Dan Brown to you sakka, a writer named Dan Brown. How to use this pattern? We have noun 1 followed by to you no wa, and then we have a noun plus no, or a sentence in plain form plus to you, and then koto da. So this means the thing called noun 1. Noun 1 to you no wa. Okay, so this is the topic. And then the second part is the thing that is noun 2 or the sentence. Okay, noun no koto da or sentence to you koto da. So let's take a look at some examples. Number 1, pasokon is short for personal computer. So we have noun 1, pasokon. And the second part is we are saying what pasokon is. So it's short for personal computer. So we have two nouns. So we use the first pattern. So we say, パソコンというのは, and then noun 2, パーソナルコンピューターのことだ. So since this is a noun, we add no, and then ことだ. So basically, the thing that is called pasokon is the thing that is a personal computer. So that's just the long explanation, but it just basically means pasokom is short for personal computer. Another example is the word kinyen. Kinyen means that you must not smoke here. So we have a noun and then we have a sentence. You must not smoke here. So using the second pattern, so we have noun 1 and then a sentence. So we can say, kinyen toyu no wa, the thing that is called kinyen, you must not smoke here. Tabako o sutte wa ikenai. So normally it's sutte wa ikemasen. But since we need the plain form, we change ikemasen to ikenai. Tabako o sutte wa ikenai. Then, toyu. Toyu. Koto desu. So, the thing that is called kinyen is actually the thing which means you must not smoke here. So that's the long, literal meaning. But here we just say kinyen means that you must not smoke here or smoking is prohibited. Okay, let's try. Here, 次の言葉はどういう意味ですか? So what is the meaning of the following words? For example, apo. Appointment. So we have two nouns. So we can say, apo というのは appointment のことです. So apo means appointment. Okay? So if you check out the vocabulary list for this lesson, you would know what apo means. So try number 1. 外来語 Nihongo になった外国語 And then number 2. 省エネエネルギーをたくさん使わないようにします. Okay? So try number 1 and number 2. When you're done, let's move on to the next one. Our third grammar pattern is again, nani nani toyu nani nani. So it's again, same as the previous one. This is used to explain the details of a noun. The noun can be a rumor, a news, or a story. So basically, we have a noun, and then we are giving the details of that noun. How to use this pattern? We have a sentence in plain form, followed by toyu, and then we have a noun, which can be a hanashi, a story, uwasa, rumor, kangae, thought, iken, opinion, ishi is intention, hihan is criticism, and nyusu. So, it's not limited to these words, but anything similar to this. So basically, the sentence is explaining the details of these words. For example, we have, I heard a news. So what news? That an IKEA store will open in the Philippines. So here is the details of the news. So using this pattern, we can say, okay, so first we need to say this part in plain form. An IKEA store will open in the Philippines. フィリピンで IKEA ストアが開店する. So again, make sure it's in plain form. Plus という. So, フィリピンで IKEA ストアが開店するというニュース. Okay? A news that an IKEA store will open in the Philippines. Okay? And then we follow it by I heard. を聞きました. Okay? I heard a news where an IKEA store or that an IKEA store in the Philippines will open. Another example. Have you heard the rumor that Jenny and GD are dating? So we have rumor as a noun. And the details of that is Jenny and GD are dating. So we need to say this first in plain form. Jenny と GD は付き合っている. So dating, 付き合っています or 付き合っている in plain form. という噂. A rumor that, and then followed by have you heard を 聞きましたか？ジェニーとジーディは付き合っているという噂を聞きましたか？ Okay, let's try. Here I have an example. 話を聞きました。Hear or heard a story. And what is that story? この辺りは昔海でした。This area used to be, or a long time ago, used to be the sea. Okay? So combine it with this one. Okay, we can say that. So this one goes first, right? この辺りは昔海 Instead of でした、we say だった。海だったという話を聞きました。Okay, so a story that says this area used to be the sea. Okay, so try number 1. 医者にアドバイスをもらいました。So what kind of advice did you get? しばらく仕事を休んだ方がいいです。That I better take some time off from work. Number 2. 最近事件が多いです。So recently, there has been many incidents. So what kind of incident? 歩いている女性がバッグを奪われます。So, a female walking wherein their bags are being snatched. So those kind of incident. Okay? So try number 1 and number 2. When you're done, let's move on to the next one. Our fourth grammar pattern is 何々ように言う、注意する、伝える or 頼む。This pattern is used when giving the details of a request or instruction. So, in the previous point, we have a noun and we are giving the details of the noun. This time, this is specifically when giving the details of an instruction or a request. How do we use this? We have verb in dictionary form if it's positive, and if it's negative or not to do verb, we use nai form, followed by yo ni. So basically means to do something or not to do something. And then we have another verb which can be you or to say, chui suru, to warn, tsutaeru, to tell, or tanomu, to ask or request. So again, say, warn, tell, ask to verb or not to verb, not to do verb. For example, I was told by my father to study harder. Okay, so here we have the instruction which is to study harder, and the verb is to be told. So we say this first, study harder. So we have the subject, watashi wa, so I, chichi ni, by my father, motto benkyou suru, so study harder. So we have it in dictionary form. Motto benkyou suru you ni, to study harder, to study harder. And then, iwaremashita, was told. So we use a passive verb, iwaremashita. Watashi wa chichi ni motto benkyou suru you ni iwaremashita. So if we want to say it in direct speech, meaning we are quoting the direct words that the person said, we say, I was told by my father, study harder. We say, watashi wa chichi ni motto benkyou shinasai to iwarimashita. So here is the quote and quote, and then instead of yoni we have to, because we are directly quoting the exact words. But here we change it to yoni, okay, to study harder, when we are trying to explain the details of the instruction or request. So this pattern is from lesson 37. If you want to review that, it's the doer ni And then we have passive verb, which is in raremasu or saremasu. Okay, if you want to say it normally, we can say, 父は私にもっと勉強しなさいと言いました. So here we have the father as the subject. My father told me, study harder. Okay, so you can compare the difference. If it's passive, I was told. If it's in normal form, we have, my father told me. Okay? Next example. I asked my brother, what did you ask your brother? To buy bento on his way home. Okay? So here we have, who did you ask? We have the brother. Ototo ni obento is the bento lunchbox. O katte kuru. So buy and come. Katte kuru you ni tanomimashita. I requested. Okay? I asked my brother. So, 私は弟にお弁当を買ってくるように頼みました. So, if you want to say it in direct speech, I asked my brother, buy a bento on your way home. 弟にお弁当を買ってきてと頼みました. Okay, another example. I was warned by the doctor to not drink alcohol too much. So here we have the instruction to not drink alcohol. 私は医者に so by the doctor あんまりお酒を飲まない so here not to drink so we use the nai form. Okay? 飲みます becomes 飲まない and then ように to not drink. And then we have the verb warn. 注意されました. I was warned by the doctor to not drink alcohol too much. So here we have a passive verb again. 私は医者にあまりお酒を飲まないように注意されました. So if you want to say it in direct speech, I was warned by the doctor, you better not drink alcohol too much. 私は医者にあまりお酒を飲まない方がいいですよと注意されました. Another example. I told the children to go to bed early. So here we have the instruction to go to bed early. And we have the verb told or tell. So we say 子供たちに早く寝るように言いました. So who did you tell it to? To the children. 子供たちに go to bed early. 早く寝るように言いました. If you wanna say it in direct speech, I told the children, go to bed early. 子供たちに早く寝なさいと言いました. So 何々なさいis just like ください but are used by parents or teachers when they are giving instructions to children. So, again, if you remember when the father said, study harder, もっと勉強しなさい. So, because you don't tell your children, 勉強してください, it's, usually you say, 何々なさい. Okay, let's try. Example, 学生に, so students, to the students, 図書館で大きい声で話してはいけません. So, 何々ってはいけません meaning you must not talk in a loud voice in the library. と注意しました. So, I warned the students. So, we say, 学生に図書館で大きい声で and then, not to talk. So, we use the nai form. So, 話してはいけません becomes, so, 話しません becomes, 話さない plus ように to not talk in a loud voice in the library. 注意しました. 学生に図書館で大きい声で話さないように注意しました. Okay, try number 1. ボスに、so boss、この仕事を今日中に終わってください。So the boss said, finish this work today. と頼まれました。I was asked. Okay, so you sang this pattern. Next, number 2. サスケくんに早く帰りなさいと言いました。So, I told Sasuke to come home early. Okay? So, use this pattern. Okay, so if you're done, let's move on to the next one. Our fifth grammar point is nani nani mitai da, nani nani mitai na, and nani nani mitai ni, which is used to express simile or illustrate the similarities between two things. So this is the same as the one we've learned from lesson 1, which is nani nani yo da, nani nani yo na, and nani nani yo ni. But this is less formal than nani nani yo. How to use this pattern? So just like the nani nani yo, basically is exactly the same way. We have noun plus mitai da. Like a noun. Noun 1, mitai na, noun 2. Noun 2 like noun 1. And then noun plus mitai ni, either a verb or an adjective. To do something like noun or as adjective as noun. So again, mitai da is equal to yo da. Mitai na is yo na. Mitai ni is yo ni. But mitai is less formal compared to yo. Okay, let's take a look at some example. This alcohol is like apple juice. So we have a noun and we just want to say like apple juice. So we say, このお酒はリンゴジュースみたいだ. Okay? Like apple juice. And we have the subject, このお酒. Another example. This alcohol tastes like apple juice. So we have another noun, which is taste. And then again, our first noun is apple juice. Tastes like apple juice. So we use the second pattern. このお酒はリンゴジュースみたいな味. So the taste just like an apple juice. Okay? リンゴジュースみたいな味. A taste like apple juice. And then, 何々がする is to taste something. このお酒はリンゴジュースみたいな味がする. So this alcohol tastes like apple juice. Another example. This alcohol is as sweet as apple juice. So we have an adjective. As adjective as a noun. So we use みたいに. このお酒は noun リンゴジュースみたいに and then sweet 甘いです。このお酒はリンゴジュースみたいに甘いです。So this alcohol is as sweet as apple juice. And our last grammar point is 何々ところ, which means when. And this is used in conjunction with certain words in polite situations. So here we will only focus on using it as a way to thank someone for doing something for us or when we want to request something. So if you remember the word nani nani toki, which also means when or at a certain point in time. So they have the same use, but this one we use it in more formal situations. So let me give you an example of how to use this pattern. How do we use this? We have the honorific prefix o, then noun no, or adjective, plus tokoro, followed by something. So this means when or at the time when either you're busy, free, tired, or in a hurry. Okay, and then something. So for example, we have, I'm sorry to disturb you when you are busy. So at the time that you are busy, I'm sorry, but I have a favor to ask. So we can say, o isogashii. So busy isogashi, we add prefix o to show respect. And then, tokoro, at the time when you are busy. Sumimasen, I'm sorry. Chotto onegai ga arun desu ga. So this is usually an opening when you want to talk to someone and you want to ask them something, but you don't want to be rude. So you want to be polite. So this is a very basic expression. So you have to memorize this. O isogashi tokoro sumimasen. And then, whatever you want to say. Okay? So, remember this expression. O isogashi tokoro sumimasen. Another one is, thank you for helping me during your free time or when you're free. Okay? So, free time. So, we say, oyasumi. So, free time. Again, we add prefix o. So, yasumi is a noun. So, we add no. Oyasumi no tokoro. At the time when you are free, tetsudatte kudasatte. For helping me. Okay? Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you very much. Okay? Oyasumi no tokoro, tetsudatte kudasatte. Arigatou gozaimashita. Another example. I'm sorry to disturb you when you are tired. So, we say, otsukare. Tsukare is fatigueness. Okay, it's a noun. So, we add no. And then we have the prefix o. Otsukare no tokoro. At the time when you are tired, jama o shite sumimasen. Jama shimasu, to disturb. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry to disturb you when you are tired. And last example, I'm sorry for talking to you when you were in a hurry. So we have isogi. So hurry, isogi. O isogi no tokoro. At the time when you are in a hurry, hanashikakete, talking to you, gomenasai, I'm sorry. O isogashi no tokoro, hanashikakete gomenasai. はい、お疲れ様でした。今日のレッスンはどうですか？役に立ったら LIKE ボタンを押してくださいね。もしコメントとか質問があれば、下にぜひ書いてください。I hope you learned something today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future lessons. I will see you in the next one. またねー!